Before I got diagnosed with scoliosis, I was always active, running around, playing a different sport every week. My mom was trying to keep up with me all the time. I think I was in about 5th grade when I noticed a change to start happening in my body. You know, we always had the scoliosis test at school, and that's something that you think, oh no, everyone gets cleared from it, like no one has it. So it was something that I was aware of, but I didn't think it would happen to me. And when I realized that that was what was going on, I was really scared because, you know, your whole body is changing. And it's in a such a negative way that it just really affects and changes everything in your life. But once I met Dr. Cronen, he made me feel like I was in the best hands possible. My mom and I both agreed that it would be the best decision to go with Dr. Cronen.
So she had x-rays over time that showed that she had a progressive scoliosis, and in that circumstance, when bracing has failed, the textbook recommendation is to stabilize the spine with a fusion. She wanted to know what she would be able to do afterwards. As I mentioned, she's an athlete, and she wanted to know what sports she would be able to participate in, what activities, how is this going to limit her, what her restrictions would be.
So I was like, can I skydive? And probably things I would never do in actuality. And he was like, yeah, you could do that. He was like, you just need to recover.
The kids who ask more questions, you know that they're going to be more driven. They're going to do better because they are taking an interest in their own health and their future.
And he made me realize that although it was a life-altering surgery, that my life would not be altered forever, and I would get through this. The recovery for the surgery wasn't easy because it is a life-changing thing. Your mind doesn't realize all the things that went on.
Once I've done a fusion on someone, they bought me for the rest of their lives, so they get followed forever.
Dr. Cronen brought me back in for checkups, and I had all these crazy fears that I was falling apart, and he always was like, yeah, just come on in, I'll check you out. And he was like, you're okay. And he's like, you can come in again next week if you want to. So he always made me feel like I was really welcomed and that I would always be safe with him. And which is something that you really do look for when you're going through a surgery like this, is a safety and an affirmation that everything will be okay. And he always made me feel like everything will be okay.
This is a huge impact in their otherwise complicated lives as they see it. So making a connection with them and just trying to let them know that you understand that this is not the easiest thing in the world, but that we're going to get through it together, and that on the other side they're going to be relatively normal. Sometimes they can get that from me talking to them and telling them. Sometimes it takes talking to another kid who's been through it. But just really thinking about the psychological side of all of this, and trying to let that come through as you connect with the patient, I think has a big impact on their understanding of things and how well they'll ultimately do, instead of just saying, you need surgery, here's how it's going to be, and walking out of the room and going on my way.
I think it makes a world of a difference to know that I have a doctor or a physician who I can trust and who really has my back, because he has my back in his hands, literally. And just knowing that he's by my side and he knew what he was doing, and he always made me feel comfortable and treated me, even though I am a kid, like an adult, because he respected me and actually entertained my questions and my crazy ideas.
Just as Jazz was when I met her, she had a very bright future then and still has an incredible future ahead of her. Regardless of what she decides to do, she really will not be, she will not have the scoliosis as something that's going to limit her or restrict her going forward. She can do anything she wants to ultimately with her life, and I see a wide open future for her.